What happened? The weekend of June 1st and June 2nd, 1935. My mother calls in sick to her piano students and stays in her room. Now, when the door opens, a stuffy, stale smell comes out, and I see her in her bathrobe, her hair tangled like seaweed. My father is a terrible cook. I look down at my supper plate, fried beets swimming in a pool of bright pink juice, half cooked hash browns turned pink when they border the beets, and cold oatmeal. My father seems to notice my reaction to his cooking. If she's still in bed tomorrow, I'll bring home convict cooking. I promise, he says. Thanks, Dad, I say. Natalie is quiet. She has counted the shredded beets on her plate and organized them so they are lying in a line like 20 men in sleeping bags. She seems to be trying to decide what to do with the oatmeal when all of a sudden she blurts out, "Why did the chicken cross the road?" "I don't know," I say. "His buttons rolled to the other side," Nat says, picking at her napkin. She looks at me and runs her tongue over her upper lip. Then she wraps her arms around herself as if she needs them to hold her chest together and begins to rock. "What happened? What happened?" Natalie asks. "Nothing happened, Natalie. Mommy isn't feeling well. And we're just not sure the Esther P. Marinoff is the right school for you," my father says. "Mommy is angry," Natalie says. My father and I look at each other. His lip quivers and his voice gets gritty. "No, she's not mad at you, honey. You did everything right, Natalie." "Not mad at you, honey," Natalie says, digging her chin into her collarbone. "Not mad at you, honey," she repeats, adding extra pauses between the words. "Oh, gosh," my father says. "Natalie, sweetheart, you were great. No one is mad at you." But Natalie doesn't look at him. She looks at the butter, not past it, not through it, but at it, as if it is the most interesting thing in the world. "You won't believe what I did," I tell Annie and Teresa the next day. "I asked the warden if he'd get Al Capone to help us get Natalie into school." "You didn't," Annie says. "I did." "He said no," Teresa says. I nod. "Well, that's a big surprise," Annie says. "You didn't really think he'd say yes, did you?" I shrug. "What's Capone going to do anyway? It's not like he gets out on the weekends to run around town breaking people's legs," Annie says. "He could help if he wanted. This is small potatoes for him," I say. "He can do anything." Annie shakes her head. "The guy's in prison. He can't do anything. You've been spending too much time with Piper." She's right. I know she is. The man's locked up. But this one sentence keeps floating around in my head. He could if he wanted to. He could if he wanted to. It's when I see Piper that I realize what I'm going to do. "I'm going to write a letter to Al Capone," I tell her. She rolls her eyes. "They don't let just anyone write to Capone, you know. You have to be a relative, and then it's censored." "Yeah, but it's your mom who censors his mail, right? Couldn't I just drop a letter in the sack of already censored mail?" "I've tried that," Piper says, running her fingers through her long hair. "You did? What happened?" "Nothing. Never answered back. I told him to check out Jane Eyre from the convict library and put his answer in it." "Jane Eyre? Maybe that was the problem. Can you imagine Al Capone reading Jane Eyre?" I ask. "That's the point, Einstein. A book like that would never be checked out. What con would read Jane Eyre? And besides, then my dad wouldn't give me grief for wanting to read it because I had to get him to check it out from the con library for me. I figured Capone could write back in the book, underlining very faintly in pencil the way the cons do." "No, I don't know. Let's say you want to say, 'I need your help.' You go carefully through the book and look for an I and underline it, and then an N and underline it, and an E, and so on, and you've spelled your whole message." "Did he get it?" Piper shrugs. "Who knows? I never got an answer back." "What was the message?" "I asked him if he'd autograph a baseball and hit it over the wall. I told him I'd auction it off, said we'd split 50-50. "Don't you think he has enough money?" I ask. "No one ever has enough money," Piper says. "But you didn't get in trouble for this, right? So what's the harm?" I ask. "Easy for you to say. The only thing your parents did was take away your baseball glove. Not exactly a hardship." "You're one to talk. You didn't get punished at all." "Yes, I did. You think I wanted 2 months with my grandma? She's always crabby and everything she eats is boiled. Boiled cabbage, boiled turnips. She even boils hamburger." "I thought you said it was fun." She rolls her eyes again. "Ever heard of saving face?" "That's what Annie thought," I say. "Yeah, well, you should listen to her. She's right most of the time," Piper says. "Even if you did get in trouble, it doesn't seem to have to make any difference to you." "Oh, yeah? Have I gotten in trouble since then?" Piper asks. "No," I admit. "Still, wouldn't you like to be Big Al's pen pal? This could be the start." She snorts like she doesn't care. But her eyes are so bright, I know this isn't true. What's he going to do to get Natalie in? She asks. Beats me, I say. But if the guy can fix a whole election, he'll figure out something. In Piper's room the next day, she brings out the special duplicate carbon letter paper her mom uses. Can you type? She asks. Nope. Me either. Just, hunt and peck. You don't need to worry if you make mistakes. My mom makes them too. And every once in a while, type 3 dots. That's what she does when she leaves something out. Then, if she happens to glance at your page, she'll think it's a letter she's already finished. I roll the brown page into her typewriter, click the carriage over, and begin hunting down letters with one finger. Dear Mr. Capone, I live on Alcatraz. I'm Officer Flanagan's son. My sister Natalie Flanagan is a little unusual. Ask Onion 105 about her. He'll tell you how nice she is. She needs to be in school to help her, but they won't let her in. It's the Esther P. Marinoff School in San Francisco. Could you help? The guy who runs it is named Mr. Purdy. I would be so grateful if you could help me with this. Thank you, sir. Sincerely, Moose Flanagan. P.S. I like your mother very much. I like your mother very much? Piper says when she reads it. You gotta say something about the guy's mother. Why? She asks. Because then he remembers he has one. And he knows we knew her too. Makes him act better. It's the mom rule. All guys use it. This is Al Capone we're talking about. I don't think he'll fall for a cheap trick like that. I'm not taking it out, I say. Suit yourself. She takes the letter and presses it in thirds with her thumbnail, making 2 perfect crisp folds. She disappears with the letter. In less than a minute, she's back. Piece of cake, she says. I get up to leave. Hey, Moose, if this doesn't work, you going back? Back where? Santa Monica, stupid. Not that I care anything, because I don't, she says. Well, if you don't care, why are you asking? I'm not asking, Piper says. Oh, now you're not asking. Okay, then, I'm not answering. Piper bites at her bottom lip. Well, are you? I don't know, Piper. I walk down the stairs. When I get outside, I see Piper watching me through the window of her dad's library. When she sees I see her, she closes the curtain quick and disappears.